if you didn't like the fact that Vince ripped off so many kids Pokemon cards throughout his life, like and subscribe to show Vince.
If you see him in the streets, make sure if you're driving by and you see Vince limping down the street, just call him out. Just tell him that he's a bag of shit.
Skipping through the end times.
Hey, is that Dave Penner over there in the cyber realm? Is that who I'm seeing?
Me?
Wow, I think Vince
Dude.
just jumped in too. Vince, come back. Now that you've already made an appearance, now you got to stick around.
Don't be shy, little guy.
Hello?
Okay, there you go.
Hey, I just muted
He's
myself on like 7 different programs, but I think I got them all back.
Well, let's certainly hope so because we need at least one of them. So we're glad.
I'm gonna go
you're
check
back.
it. I'm gonna go check in with the producer's producer. I'll be back, boys.
All right, Dave. So how was your week, dude? I mean, we haven't seen each other in a little while.
Yeah, it was good, man. Yeah, thanks for you mentioned I was in the cyber realm, and then I don't know, it kind of freaked me out. But I'm good, dude. I had last weekend we did a D&D trip. We call it Dungeons and Cabins.
Whoa. Okay, now this is your annual. Don't you guys do this annually?
This is the second annual time we did it, and
So it counts.
now officially it's like a tradition because we did it the second time.
The coolest part is that you guys kind of do like different, and so I'm not a D&D guy, so I'm always intrigued because the idea of D&D is awesome to me. It's just the patience and the sitting still for that long is the detriment. But so you guys
we call people of your kind D&D ignorance.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what we label it.
That's fine. Because guess what? Next time you guys have an annual D&D get together, I'm gonna get me and a bunch of ignorants, and we're gonna storm the castle, and then we're gonna make it a real D&D experience. So that it works.
We don't take kindly to those.
Last time you guys did this, it was in a different location, right? Don't you guys mix it up? I mean, I know this is only the second one, but
last year was North Carolina, which was pretty awesome. This time was here, so I'm over in LA. So this time we did more local, like we did Lake Arrowhead, which was pretty cool. We just got a cabin, and
you just got a cabin. You just stumbled upon a cabin.
It's in cabins, so we got a cabin in the middle of the snow. It was great.
So I just imagine like the landlord of this poor property, probably an Airbnb, goes over to the cabin to check on it, finds you guys in it, and is like, "What the hell are you guys doing here?" And you guys are just like, This is Dungeons and Cabins.
This is our realm now." No, it's actually one time. There was one point where the guy showed up to I think like restock the fire logs or something outside, and he just kind of like peeked in awkwardly, but then just kept going because he didn't want to be weird. And I just pictured him being like, fucking nerds, just looking inside the.
What's funny about that is like I just pictured like a Three's Company situation with Mr. Furley is always trying to see what's going on with Jack Tripper and his living situation. Like what you're describing, that's the new version of that. Is that because there's always the Airbnb host always shows up. They find a reason to show up no matter what. In your case, it was. "Oh, hey everyone, I'm just restocking these logs here. I hope I don't mind me." And then meanwhile, he's taking inventory on everything.
He's like pretending to restock the logs, but he's not doing anything. We're like, "We can see you. There's no logs."
You know what'd be really awesome is if like through the course of him just finding things to replenish in the house, if it just slowly comes out that he's a D&D guy too. You know, he's not D&D ignorant. Like he's full on just like
he comes in full like cosplay of like a rogue or something, and he's just like, "Oh, well, did you want to play?"
See, I think
this is just what I normally wear.
I'm thinking of it as like he shows up first day, realizes what you guys are doing, and then slowly throughout the course of you guys staying there for a week, he just shows up in various stages of like showing how Airbnb, how D&D savvy he is, and then like what you're saying is like the very last day where he just shows up in full cosplay as a mage or whatever the lingo is.
Yeah, exactly.
Hilarious.
Yeah, but it was we were also joking around because we were like they're probably watching us on like the Ring cameras.
Oh yeah,
just like these guys haven't left the cabin a single time. Like, what's happening?
He's all, these guys are. I mean, they're all still in the game. They're going to be here forever. They're not going to go home at all. That's great.
We got a lot of beer, and so we played. So I don't know if you guys are Dane or Dane for one. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with D&D, but we went all out. We played level 20s, and like the the concept was to make it very like a cinematic blockbuster film. So just everything's super epic. Like, we're playing basically gods. We're taking on a Shardalon, one of the like craziest dragons threats that D&D has to offer, and basically just the Avengers Endgame of D&D. And we had to like move really fast. We had an awesome DM. I should have gave Vince some pictures to show, but yeah, it was super fun. And yeah, we almost had a death, but we survived, and it was awesome.
Well, it's good to hear. You don't want your Dungeons and Cabins weekend ruined by a death. So I'm glad that that worked out. So again, not a D&D guy, interested because it sounds like the people you were with are all D&D guys and gals. What was the consensus? Did it had anybody seen the new Dungeons and Dragons movie? Was there any? I mean, I've heard that there's really good
Yeah.
reviews, but I don't know how many of those reviews are done by people who actually play Dungeons and Dragons. So,
We had our two of our wives were playing that had
hmm.
not my wife's played like in the past, but my other friend's wife actually Dungeons and Cabins was her first experience doing it, and she loved it, so she was back, and she had a lot to contend with this time because she decided to play a sorceress which has a billion spells that you have to track, and so she went all out this time. It's a lot though dealing with level 20s, but yeah, but coincidentally, yeah, so the D&D movie came out at the exact same time we were there. And so
Oh,
we were
really?
like, all right, I guess we have to do it. So we go to this well, first we got lost down the roads of Arrowhead in which like multiple roads were closed in the snow. And so we had to basically go like all the way on the other side of the mountain, and finally we get to like this like dinky little theater they had that looks like it looks like this abandoned used to be like this
Was it Blue Jay?
chapel or something. Yeah, Blue Jay.
Was
Have you
okay,
been
I'm
there?
familiar with Blue Jay. Dude, I've never been there. It's
You're all,
always my
oh,
parents
Blue Jay.
you well, my the reason I say this because my parents had a cabin that was literally around the corner from Blue Jay Cinema, and I always wanted to go because it looked like such a throwback and, like, I exactly what you're describing. I wanted to be like, "What's this outdated theater gonna be like on the inside?" I thought it was either gonna be like you're gonna go in and it's like a weird, like, massage parlor/movie, slash movie, or it was just like an
It
old
does.
school. I always looked in like, in the window, I think there's, like, an old projector. I don't know if it's still there, but there was, like, back when I used to gallivant around Arrowhead, there was like an old film projector in the lobby. Is that still the case?
I don't remember that, but like you go in and it immediately looks like you're not supposed to be there. Like it looks like an abandoned like there are all these like weird boxes and supplies, and we're just like, what's happening? And then you go upstairs and then it looks like a inviting like theater.
Okay.
So anyway,
So not a massage parlor. So then what was the
maybe it is a massage parlor. Maybe I missed
you
out.
missed
Maybe
out.
I didn't say the right secret code to let me in the back entrance or something.
So what was the consensus? What did you guys all think of the movie?
Everyone pretty much enjoyed it a lot, except me. I didn't like it that much, and
Okay.
I kind of feel like a dick about it. But yeah, I don't know. There was like certain enjoyable moments for sure. And I don't know if anybody in the chat, if you guys disagree, feel free to give your opinion if you've seen it. Um, it's pretty similar to the trailer, I thought, but I thought there were some funny, enjoyable moments for sure. Um, Maybe they went too far into like the meta realm
Mm,
of like this is D&D and we're like kind of nerdy about D&D, so we're not going to fully commit to it. I don't know, like cuz there's some like really deep cut like D&D things in there like the guys I were with were pretty stoked about. But I don't know, I just feel like they could have done more with that too. Like one of the characters was a barbarian, and like one of the trademarks of a barbarian is that they rage, and
mm.
they get extra power while going into a rage and are able to do all these other things. And they didn't really like make it like apparent that they were doing that. It was kind of just like a really soft like, so I don't know, it made it seem kind of more like a generic like action comedy than like specifically D&D. And I don't know, I just feel like some of the filmmaking things too like could have been better. Like some of the plot was like a little bit like, oh, that's kind of like convenient sort of a thing. But I don't know. I was really tired when I saw it, so I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh on it.
Or maybe you're not being harsh enough, man. Maybe that tiredness, the fatigue made you softer and like it more than you would have normal. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
I it was one of those movies. Like I'm a fan of fantasy and sci-fi films, so I'm always interested in stuff like that, and always intrigued as like especially in the case of something like this where I'm not a fan of D&D or somebody that partakes in it. I'm always interested to see if the filmmakers can get me even not knowing anything about it. So that's interesting. Yeah, it just tonally looked like it was like going for a straight up comedy. It's interesting because one of the guys who directed it was Sam from Freaks and Geeks, right? The guy, and he
Yeah.
also was one of
Yeah.
the writers on Homecoming. So it definitely felt like they were going towards the comedic element
And
more
he,
than
I believe, directed it also.
yeah. So interesting.
Which yeah, maybe that was part of the problem.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go out on a
know.
limb and say that he probably partakes in D&D, right? You don't get that movie unless you know a little bit something about it.
I think it makes sense. Yeah, yeah. I would be surprised if not. Um yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Like yeah.
So what are we talking
But
score wise here? What would you give it out of
man, I was kind of bummed afterwards. I was like 4 out of 10.
hmm,
Maybe I'd give it 5 out of 10. Um But I don't know, I just couldn't help but feel like it was a missed opportunity and it could have been fun, but apparently a lot of people like it, so maybe, we'll get that gets people if it gets people into D&D, that's awesome,
yeah.
and, maybe there'll be sequels but, like, to transition, like, I couldn't help but think as I was watching it, like, and then later watching Mario, like, I couldn't help but, like, feel like, to me, Mario was, like, this is everything I could have asked for, like, a movie that's based on an IP and something that's, like it's like, "Hey, like, I'm super passionate about this one thing." Like, if you're going to see, like, a Mario movie or something about an IP, like, how can I do that to the absolute most? Like, how do I give people everything they could have asked for in this? And it's something that, like, I feel like D&D didn't quite do,
Yeah.
and Mario super nailed. What did you think?
Yeah, so moving into Mario, I have a little bit of a different background. Of course, like everybody, I grew up, playing Mario games and SNES, Super Nintendo, Switch. But wasn't like a rabid fan, more of a casual fan. A lot of times my sister would play on the SNES and I would watch her play because she was a bully and she never let me play. I'm just kidding, that's not true. But I always enjoyed like watching it for, that meant I didn't have to deal with any of the stress. But as I talked about on a couple shows ago, we went to Universal Studios Hollywood and we got to check out Super Nintendo World. And so my kid, who's 3, ever since we went, is like, when are we gonna go see Mario? Because now this thing exists and I want more of it. So there was a lot of hype in this house around the Mario movie. We watched the Mario trailers nonstop, every clip. We watched it as if it was a movie in and of itself. So I was really excited going into this movie. Number one, it also just looks like a lot of fun. I'm a really big fan of Illumination, which is something I never thought I would say, but again, having a 3-year-old, I've been forced to watch Minions and Despicable Me and all those movies a ton of times, and they're really good. I mean, not just the animation, but the stories are really good. The humor is obviously or is oftentimes really good. They kind of seems like they have their finger on the pulse in a way that maybe Pixar did 10 years ago, where everything that kind of came out was a hit. And yeah, so anyway, I love this movie. I thought it was fantastic. I'm probably going to go see it again with Calliope this week. She's requesting another viewing. She doesn't understand the disconnect between just because we went and saw it in the theater doesn't mean that we can't go home and just watch it as many times as we want. So, which makes me happy because when I was a kid, it took 6 months for a movie, at minimum for a movie to go from the theaters to home video. So if she gets to experience a little bit of that, I'm sure it's like 2 or 3 weeks, but it's
It's
still
all that's
something.
the problem with all this young generation
Yeah.
is they want everything now, and, that's
And she was
just,
just born into a world of having a ton of movies at her disposal, so she'll never understand. And she also doesn't understand the concept of rewinding a video after you're done, but we'll wait till she's a little bit older. But, everybody I was with, I went with my wife and Callie and and my dad, who is not a Mario guy, loved it as well. I mean, I think it was perfectly cast. I think, like you said, the way that they were able to introduce you into this world, I was amazed at how many things they were able to throw at you in one 90-minute movie. Have it make sense, have the movie, just the pacing of it was really well done. And I even like Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, which that says enough. That's probably my greatest review, I think.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I agree. I was I'm just looking at the chat and I believe this is Vince with us. I feel like someone can easily bring characters and skills from other games. I usually try to play my D&D character like my druid from Diablo 2, aka just turn into a wolf and run around barking at everyone until it's snack time. I
So
agree, dude.
really you agree? Because that to me is like what, because I wouldn't be far off from that if I played D&D, but that's why I try to save everybody else around me from having to deal with that. So Vince would be the problem child of the D&D world, I imagine. Um,
I
oh,
mean, you can play D&D as like anything.
You
That's why.
rang?
That's true. We said your name, Vince.
We're new to it. We do have a group that we play once a week, and we're all brand new to it, so it's kind of just us messing around. But I do very often, like, I'll turn into a bat and just fly somewhere while everyone's like in the town turning in all their loot. I'm like just trying to find caves and shit. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to play, but I'm having fun doing it. The beers
Nice,
don't
man.
don't
So are you a druid that
I'm a
can
druid.
go bat?
Yeah, I don't know technically if I'm allowed to or if like I'm
I don't
leveled
know if
enough
there's
to be able to do
rules.
it. Yeah, I don't
I don't know
know.
if there's
My
confines or rules, but I'm there.
It
DM
seems
doesn't
like you
stop
could do
me.
it.
Yeah, I have done it, so I think at
You're,
some point they realized they had to limit me to like shape shifting once a turn.
well, that's enough. You can't shapeshift 8 times in one turn, Vince.
I'm gonna
Dude,
turn into a bat bear pig.
Vince, they had a half-hour meeting before you got there just to talk about how they were gonna handle you if,
Bro, Vince is out of control. What do we
bro, look,
do?
1 beer, it's fine. 2 beers, it's okay. 3 beers, and he's turning into a bat, and then he's doing it every 25 minutes, guys. So we have to have, we have to have a spell that works to,
That's a
combat
beer
that
constitution check.
combats
But they do
it.
know once I get to 6, I'm cool again.
Hey, Vince, what did you think of, did you see Super Mario
I
Brothers?
saw Super Mario Brothers yesterday, and I actually really liked it. I think we were kind of talking about kind of the resurgence of the going crowd again. I feel like it was the 90s again. I haven't seen this theater that packed since we moved here. It kind of sucks because then everyone was like kicking my chair throughout the whole movie, so I was kind of
That's
annoyed by that.
that's
But
part of it, dude.
the movie itself was fantastic. I did like Seth Rogen way more than I thought I was going to. Um, and visually, I thought it was stunning, dude. I love just the texture of each character because
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a weird thing to say, but like the texture of their nose, it wasn't just that they didn't feel like real living things. Rather, they kind of felt like toys.
Vince,
Did
we
you get
draw the
that?
line at textures of
Textured
noses.
noses,
That's
dude.
Dude,
That's
just
textured noses is what
that's
I'm
too
all
far,
about.
dude.
that sounds sexual, and we don't go for that here, okay? We don't go for textured noses here.
Well, in that case, I'm out.
No, no, I agree, and I gotta be honest. I knew we were in for a good time in like one of the opening scenes where Mario and Luigi are running to their first and only job, and it becomes a side scroller, and then you
Yeah.
just see Mario. Like I thought that was such a like. There's little things, right? I mean, there's the big overarching, big picture things, but
There's
there's
so
little.
much yeah, like so much attention to detail with little things. Like you would even see like when there was like a wide shot and like just looking around in the frame, there's like interesting stuff happening, even if it was for like 1 second. There'd
Right.
be like interesting or funny things or like yeah, like you could tell like a lot of like passion went into making sure to do everything. I mean, like, like I wasn't sure I wasn't sure at first, like me, like watching the trailers, like for one thing, like I know, like initially the like people were unsure about the voice acting, like particularly like
Chris
Chris
Pratt.
Pratt, where it's like, oh, like why wouldn't they do the accents? But I feel like right off like first scene, they like completely justified. Um, if I guess we won't say too much about it, but yeah, first scene was it's just like completely justifies it, and I was like, oh, dude, that's awesome. Um, and I was also not sure about the fact that they started off like sort of like in the real world, and
Yeah.
then they like go into the Mushroom Kingdom. But and then it sort of ties back at the end, but I was actually thought that was like an awesome, like the way they did it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, going back to what Vince said, I gotta agree. It felt like it really did feel like a throwback movie, like a summer movie. I know we're only in April, so it's not summer, but the theater was packed. I had a hard time finding seats. You know, it felt so much like a 90s movie that I ended up getting in line an hour before the movie started, and I didn't even have to. Like, I had my seat, everything was worked out, but I just wanted that experience again,
It was
to
like an
go
old you
in.
made it feel like an old, midnight showing when you stood in
Yeah,
line and, you dressed up and,
yeah. Yeah, I dressed up in my finest Walmart screen printed tee and, just stood there, and I was just I was looking longingly at people. Of course, like, nobody was lining up behind me. Why would you, right? Because you already have your seat and your time, and there's no need, but I was just using it as an opportunity to make new friends, and, after the movie, man, I was just greeting everybody out in the lobby like, "Hey, did you see Super Mario? Oh, you were in the same theater as me? Okay, what'd you think?" We were just talking about it, and it was awesome, man.
Nice.
It felt like a communal experience. Everybody was and talk about demographically, dude, I don't know if I've ever seen a movie as demographically just like all over the place. There was young people, there were kids, there were, people in their 30s like me, there were older people. I mean, it was just across the board awesome. And it felt like, you know, especially in the US of A these days, there's not a lot we kind of all get down and dig on at the same time. And man, it's so cool. And it's sad that it has to be a movie, but it really did feel like it felt, you know what it felt like? This is the perfect way of describing this. It felt like the first week of Pokemon Go. When Pokemon Go first came out, and people, I remember playing with Vince, and we were just driving down the street, and we could see people that were playing, and we literally rolled down our window and be like, "Hey, you guys playing Pokemon Go?" And guy was like, "Yeah, dude, there's a Clefairy over here." We're just like, "Yeah, let's pull over."
Dude, that is when Pokemon Go is when, like, humanity peaked, dude, and like, there's just, like, joyous like, that month was, like, just joyous peace across the land, and, like, everyone's playing, like, you'd see, like, a 85-year-old grandma with, like, their grandson and, like, alongside, like, a dude from that just came out of the gym, and they're just playing, dude.
Yeah, and everybody's like, everybody was just shaking hands across the aisle. It was like either a tragedy just happened or Pokemon Go was released. Thank God it was Pokemon Go, but yeah, it was cool. It was just a cool experience. I would be remiss if we didn't talk about peaches, 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 peaches. And if you saw the movie, you'll know what that means. If you didn't, it's no spoiler. But yeah, I mean, I thought the comedy was on point too. I thought they did a really good job. But maybe let's talk a little bit about who they cast, because you did bring up a good point. Chris Pratt seems like anything Chris Pratt's in these days is controversial. I understand it a little bit more for this movie because you do have a built-in audience of 40 years of people that, understand Mario's voice to be one thing and very protective of that. But what did you guys think about the overall just voice cast? I mean, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, but he was right. I think Chris Pratt said, like, they're like, he's just like, I think you guys are gonna like it. Just watch it. Like, and he was right. Like, I feel like they super justified it, but yet they still gave us like he still had the most amazing like yoo-hoos and like all the
Yeah,
like Mario-isms that
right.
like were throughout it. And like they did a good job of like doing different versions of Mario too. Like Luigi, Luigi, of course, like Luigi is sent to the Luigi's Mansion world,
Yeah.
and I like it too how they set that up, like how they were like, uh, "Oh, Luigi, you can't just be scared all the time," and he's like, "You'd be surprised." and
Yeah.
and we got a little bit of Luigi's Mansion, and then of course, like later on, we got like Mario Kart, just tons of awesome Mario Kart action, and
Rainbow Road.
I feel like it was just meta enough to like have fun with it, but it wasn't like in a time where like everything feels like it has to be meta. Like if it didn't feel too meta, like it wasn't like jokes upon jokes upon jokes. It was like just enough, I thought.
And they open you up to all these different worlds that now I want to see like spin-off movies of all this. If they don't do a Luigi's Mansion would be massive because they stylistically they did it in a really interesting way that was fun, but it was still kind of creepy. Um and yeah, so I definitely came away. I think probably everybody's going to come away from that scene wanting a Luigi's Mansion movie. But there's just so many places that they could go here. Obviously they set up in the end credit scene, spoilers. Um I don't know if we want to talk about that at all, but yeah, they
Whoa,
set
whoa,
up.
whoa, dude. Do we want to say it?
I don't know. Is Dane gonna get upset if we do?
I actually didn't stay for the end credit
Daner
scene.
Dane,
Oh, we got a comment
best Daner
from
Dane scene.
Once Upon a Time in a Land. That's great. Pokemon Go was when worlds loved each other. I went to a church parking lot and another car pulled up, and we thought we were gonna get jumped, but they just said, "Just here looking for Pokemon." Dude, that's
Yeah.
I almost got stabbed once when I was playing Pokemon Go with Vince, but see, the caveat here is that I saw the guy's knife in his pocket, and I was like, I'm not even gonna
It's
play
like
around with this."
everyone like yeah, everyone was like going on into to each other's properties and like you see some guy come out with like a shotgun. It's like, oh hey, we're just and he's like, oh, you guys just playing Pokemon Go? Oh, come on in.
I thought that story was gonna end with a bunch of nuns coming out of the church going, "Oh, there's Clefairy in here. You guys wanna take communion and catch him?"
Well,
Is that what
do
it
I
was?
have to? Do I have to take communion to get the Clefairy? Okay, I'll do it.
You don't have to do anything. Your soul, you have free will, but, if you wanna come in, there's Clefairies.
My question is, how long do you think it was like the peace and unity for Pokemon until it started getting creepy? Because I know that like when it first came
Uh,
out, it was so
I can
cool,
tell you.
and
I
then
can
like
tell
a
you
year
exactly when that
later,
happened.
you would
Yeah.
still see the same dudes clumped up, and I'm like, dude, you're not gonna get that Mewtwo. And then it just
What
got like really sad.
what killed the Pokemon Go hype was Detective Pikachu. That's what killed
Ooh.
Pokemon Go, because then everybody saw that movie and was like, they don't know what they're doing still." But,
I feel like it's I mean, there's still a pretty big base. Like I feel like it was
is
just seems
there?
like
I don't know.
yeah, because I
I
mean it
think there
seemed like
is.
Like it
it
was, though?
I think it was just so massive. I mean, it like exceeded their expectations by like 10 times. Like if like 20 or 30 times. And
The nuns handed us
was my
the
then the nuns
Clefairies.
handed us the Clefairies. Yeah. It's
Those
yeah.
are good nuns then, dude. Why didn't you go to church or dude or dudette? I don't know who I'm talking to, but you should have gone in that parish and just been like, "Look, I don't believe anything. I don't believe this, but if you guys were willing to, you know, show me a Clefairy, then you must not be all bad." But
And don't
yeah,
get me started when a Dratini appeared somewhere. Then or a Lapras, dude.
don't
Oh,
Dratini, yeah.
dude.
I had a bad Dave caught a dragon, what was it?
Oh, dude, a Dragonite
Dude,
at
Dragonite.
dude at the wedding that we were at?
Dave's phone was on
Wasn't it?
1% and he caught a Dragonite. I had 100% battery and I couldn't catch it. So I'm still, I mean, that was like 8 years ago and I'm still bitter.
We were at our we were at our buddy's wedding and we were like, dude, are you guys playing Pokemon? And we set a lure and a Dragonite appears like against all odds, dude. Oh, I was so stressed out because my phone was at 1%, dude, and I barely caught it.
That's how you know that it was a good wedding reception.
Oh
Not
man.
the beer, not the alcohol, not the food. It was the Dragonites that showed up.
Thanks. Once upon a time, thank you so much. I feel like that was the peak of my life, to be honest. I mean, it was kind of all downhill after that, but I'm fine with that. I mean, I enjoyed the rest of the wedding. It was great knowing that I had a Dragonite tucked away in my account.
See, all that just sounds it sounds like you're rubbing my nose in it still, and it still hurts. I don't care
Did you
how.
not get one?
No, I
Or
didn't. I
or
didn't
did
get
yours
one.
run away?
Mine ran away.
Oh,
Okay,
dude, what a
and I've
oh
been
my
on a search to
god.
find him ever since, and I have not been able to find him.
Dude, that's why
So
you're all negative about it. You're all, "Oh, no one plays," 'cause you're just sad about that Dragonite,
no,
dude.
nobody does still play. I still hold to that. You never see people on the streets with old grandmas
Hey,
wheeling their grandmas around, checking their phones for
hey, I'll send
Pokemon
you a
Go.
Dragonite, dude, if it
Thanks.
means that
Don't do
much.
it, Dave.
I was gonna say, my nephew's like obsessed with Pokemon Go. So I always like when I'm around him, I'm like, oh, I don't have a Blastoise. He's like, well, you don't have a Blastoise? You don't even have a shiny Blastoise? I'm like, no. He's like, it's fine. I have like 18. I'll just send you one. I'm like,
He's
dude.
all have 7 shiny Blastoise, that's fine.
I'm like, you
Yeah.
were 6 months old when this came out, and now you're just booting shiny Blastoise that you can just you
Dude,
have them in so much, you have a
didn't you tell
plethora.
me that, didn't you say that, you, like, benevolently gave your nephew your Pokemon cards
Dude.
and then
Dude, I went back a few years ago because I sold like an idiot. I sold all my Pokemon cards to a kid down the street and for not even that much money. So I don't even want to tell you how much the amount of money was. It was like $60. But I had some good stuff in there, right? So I went and there was a comic book store by my house like 5 or 6 years ago called Fat Collectibles. They're not in business anymore. They're not so fat. But
That
I
place
went
sucked.
but dude, they did suck. But
so
they sold.
you basically sold it at the equivalent of, like, when Bitcoin hit, like, $20. You were like, "Oh,
Yeah,
sell, sell, sell."
you can make that comparison. You can make the comparison to the dude that sold all that Apple stock like a year after Apple came out and Pete Best from the Beatles. It was very similar to that. But I went back and started rebuying everything. So I had like all the cards that I had when I was a kid and then some. And so one day my nephew's over and I'm like, all these things. These just sit in a drawer. He's obsessed with it. Like, these are basically like vintage records to him at this point. So I'm like, one day I'm like, I'm just going to be the best uncle. So I gave him this booklet. It's got all these cards. 2 weeks later, his little brother is like, are you going to tell Uncle E that you traded away all his good cards? And then Kellen, my nephew, goes, no, you weren't supposed to tell him. And then my sister looks at Kylo and goes, hey, Big Mouth, you weren't supposed to tell him. So she was in on it too. She knew about the cards. But then come to find out, like, I think he traded like a Venusaur for like a holographic Venusaur for like an energy card. It was something like
Oh,
just
dude.
it was just egregious. And so I didn't talk to him for a couple years. We're in good terms now. Now that he's a little bit older, but
I just picture it like I picture it like you're first giving it to him and you have a smug smile on your face, like you're like a priest, like
100%. That's
you're like
exactly what it was.
you're all it's my pleasure, kid.
No, that was it. It was like it was almost like I was like fishing, right? And I was like, you got to be patient, and once you catch the big one, you'll know why everybody loves to fish, or whatever the lesson is in fishing. But it was totally that. It was like, I'm gonna be a good uncle. I really want to hold on to these. I should have just trusted my selfishness, and made him earn them like the rest of us. Now I
Yeah,
know.
I just want to say back in second grade, my parents didn't really buy them for me. Maybe they did like later on down the line, but I had to earn my keep, dude. I had to like beg. I had to beg every kid around the asphalt to get just their scraps, dude. I got like little diglets. I got like, rando energy cards. I saved them all up. And then I had to go around and con all the other children to take 10 of my energies for, one of their holographics. And then I would just build it up, dude. I just kept going. It took a lot of work. So
I had a kid that aged out of them. He was my friend. We were the same age. We were in 7th grade, and he came up to me and he goes, I don't know, man. I'm not into Pokemon anymore. Do you want my cards? And he had a notebook that was just like the starter pack from heaven. It was like
dude,
Charizard and all this. I was like, yeah, I absolutely want all
what?
these.
Well,
So
who hurt that kid, dude? What is
no,
his
Dude, that's
story?
pretty
his story
awesome.
How do
was
you how do
his
you get
story
to
was
that
that he
point in
found
life, dude?
girls. He replaced Pokemon with girls. So
You
it
were
was,
held back like 6 years too then, right? So you were
I
much
know.
older than this kid.
Oh, I was just towering over him, dude. And it was just like, I'm
Dude,
gonna
you
give you
threatened to
sort of.
beat him up, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, and I didn't need to because he finally gave over that freaking book of Pokemon cards. But no, and then they got stolen. Like within 2 weeks, I was living high, and then they got stolen by some
Oh,
punk ass
dude.
that Vince knows.
Dude, so what I was about to say is we all learned important life lessons from Pokemon cards. Eli fostered friendship and like a bond that
I wouldn't say fostered.
give this to me. You fostered friendship and a bond that you'll remember for life. Dave learned how to work hard. I learned how to fucking steal when it came to Pokemon cards, dude, and I stole a lot.
Yeah, you're from Stanton, though. That
Dude,
makes sense.
I stole enough to feed my family every month, dude.
Yeah.
To this day, you're a klepto, aren't you?
Yeah, I
You
didn't
still
buy one
struggle
of
with
these
that.
books, dude.
Sometimes Vince will just spend a weekend at the Motel 6 because it feels like home. It makes him nostalgic, and he
And you can steal
remembers
sheets without any questions, dude.
he remembers just putting those holographics under the mattress, and he's like, "No, cops are gonna come in here for the crack. They're not gonna touch these Pokemon
Dude,
cards."
do you want to know the move? I used to post up in front of my house with the door crack behind me. So the crack was just sitting right here. And then I would be going through the folders and slipping them out and slipping it in the crack. And then telling the kid, like, oh, your Pokemon cards suck. And then, like, shoving him off. And then I'd go back inside
Dude.
and I would just have a stack of Pokemon cards.
So,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
so
dude.
Vince,
Dude, I don't think I could be friends with you anymore.
Dude, so
Hey,
Vince,
hey,
Vince,
I've had a
Vince,
terrible life, Dave.
Oh
I've
my
paid.
God.
I've paid.
so Vince thought it was a good idea to come on the chat, to come on Twitch,
Hey,
and tell everybody who probably
it's a
got their
character
Pokemon
piece.
their Pokemon cards stolen as kids. He was like, no, I want to represent that bully to all these kids. So I'm gonna admit that I stole my whole entire Pokemon. Dude, you didn't you get your Hot Wheels? Didn't you have like a bunch of vintage
Oh,
Hot Wheels
again,
that were stolen?
yeah, and then they were sold at that Biggs Collectibles that you said. And
It's
I
called
asked
karma, dude.
it. That's why I told Dave that I
Dude.
paid. The
Once
universe
upon-
paid me back.
Once upon a time says, who the hell says they're from Stanton?
Nobody, nobody, because they're all. You know why? Because Stan's a city made of people who steal Pokemon cards. That's why their whole economy is based on people on stealing Pokemon cards and counterfeiting Pokemon cards.
I mean,
Those are the two things.
certainly now I'm going to be prejudiced against anyone from Stanton.
So that's why
You
Vince
can't
moved to
say that.
Portland.
Yeah, I'm trying to clear my name.
Vince moved to Portland so he could just riot and steal, and nobody.
We
was
have it
gonna
on
stop him.
record now, dude. You just implicated yourself to Pokemon stealing, and if you don't
Damn,
think
dude.
people are going to remember that,
Did you steal him a champ first edition?
Wait.
Because that's the lowest of the low.
No,
You
I
could've
got that in the bundle
booster.
pack.
Dang, so even
got
he
it
has
on
everyone
standard.
had Machamps, dude. That's
That's
like,
what I'm saying. That's the that's
Even
the,
Dave.
That's the acid test.
Even I got my hands on one, but I had to trade for it.
Dave, how many Japanese trainer cards did you have?
Oh, dude, I actually like the Japanese cards. I actually like the ones that were the gym ones or the gym trainer ones. That was like Brock's Onyx or like and all those ones.
I would have stolen from you, Dave.
Dude, you
Still
would
don't
have.
know.
You
I would've.
probably did, dude.
I probably did.
So if Vince is talking to you and there's a cracked door behind him, just hold on to your wallet, dude, because that dude's funneling. He's going, "Oh, this wallet's crap." But
Mo, let me see
meanwhile,
that
he's
watch.
taking them in. Crazy.
Dude,
Stanton, dude.
beware of the crack trick. I mean, a magician's never supposed to reveal his secrets, but Vince just like basically. I mean, that's a pretty con artist.
But
That one's for free.
Pretty good con.
There's magicians, and then there's magicians from Stanton. Okay, it's two different classifications.
They're just thieves.
Beware of Stanton magicians.
The only magic castle in magic castle in Stanton is in the business conference center of the Motel 6. Okay, and I'm disappointed, dude. I have to.
Don't
admit,
be
I'm very
disappointed, dude. I moved on up after that, and I moved into stealing tools and lawnmowers. And I had my own.
Why lawnmowers?
I'm just kidding.
So who's the poor person that was living in that apartment when you found it? Because for sure that's not yours. Now that we know you steal everything.
I have nothing to say.
I'm
never going to see you the same, Vince.
Wait, my voice changer wasn't on? Shit.
No.
Should have been. All right, so I'm gonna go. Let's go to let's get back to Super Mario Brothers. I'm gonna give this one.
I didn't steal shit.
Uh-oh.
Too late, dude.
It's Vince's demon of stealing that's taken over again.
Hey, if you give me a Blastoise right now, I will we'll go back and post and voice change you so that no one knows that it was you.
Yeah, we'll black out your face like you're on an interview on 2020 that you don't want anybody to know who you are. You're like, you're all you are.
Well, sadly, when I was a kid, I used to steal Pokemon cards.
Who is that?
My name is
And Burner, who taught you how to steal those Pokemon cards? Uh-oh.
It was my dad.
I feel like we need to do an expose on all the kids. Like, dude, can you imagine if we did like a Maury episode or like one of those stupid daytime talk shows where we just got a crowd, like all the kids together that got their Pokemon cards stolen, which were a lot, by the way, too. And we just had them all come and confront Vince. Like Vince is the vector for all of the
that'd be amazing.
All of the bullying.
If any of you are watching this and you were a victim of risky Vince,
if anybody out there got your Pokemon card stolen from a kid in Stanton that had a cracked door behind him, contact us. We'll put you on. You can confront him live on the air. We'd love to see it. All right. So rating system. I'm gonna give Super Mario Brothers movie 5 out of 5. I'm giving it the full 5 out of 5.
Dude. Wow.
I have to. That's how awesome it was.
Dude, like it sounds ridiculous to say this, but I feel like it was like kind of flawless. Like for the movie that they were going for and what they set out to be, it nailed it, dude.
It did nail it, man. It just cast the widest net possible, and this movie's gonna keep making money. It doesn't have any competition until Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's just gonna roll, dude. It's gonna keep rolling.
Us Cat Mario and Raccoon Mario. I don't know if I don't actually remember if those are the official names, but yeah, dude, it gave us.
It really did.
Donkey Kong, yeah, they kind of made him like a frenemy. It was pretty great.
Yeah, frenemy that I want to see more of, like a buddy. Like I want to see more from Mario and Donkey Kong together. Like I feel like they have unfinished business. I'd love to see it. What's your rating, Dave? Was that
dude? Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to give it like a 4.5, but I don't really see any reason to not make it a 5.5. Like I thought it was awesome.
This might be the first consensus 5 out of 5 stars we've ever given to anything. Vince, come in hot, dude. Tell us what's your rating.
I'm giving it a 1.6.
That you stole from somebody else's rating, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah.
slipped it in the crack behind you.
I actually 5 out of 5, dude. I liked it more than I thought I was going to. I love that it was short. Like it didn't feel long at all. I felt like I was kind of bummed that it was over. And I'm excited to see all the spin-offs. And I hope that they
Dude, and
come.
also they added like some awesome things too. Like I don't think I don't know what the name of that the creature, this sort of like what was it, like a star sort of creature that was in the cave that was just like
Oh,
Yeah,
the
super
water drop thing?
just
yeah,
just dark and gothic, dude. Like
pure
I thought that
darkness.
was like amazing.
That was so good. That was so good. And I mean, that's what I mean. Like, and when I say like it reminds me of like a Pixar movie from 10 years ago, because that's the kind of stuff Pixar used to do, where it was like, it's obviously a kid's movie, but you're making dark. I don't know if there's ever been a darker joke made in a kid's movie before. All right, so
Yeah.
5 out of 5 for all of us, consensus.
First
Wow.
time.
So all of those
Wow.
critics that gave this 50% on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever their egregious score is, you're all wrong. Okay, you're all
Dude.
wrong. You should pull a Vince and steal your ratings from other people who know what they're doing, because this movie was awesome, and
It
I
was
can't
just
wait to see
joy
it again.
filled, dude.
It
Yeah.
was. It
Come
was.
on.
I can't wait
Peach
to
was
see it.
also awesome. Like, you know,
Dude, Peach was
obviously
awesome.
it's like obviously they want her to be much more than the damsel in distress, which they achieved, but at the end of the day, like, Mario is about saving Peach and they still kind of did that too,
Yeah.
so it was
Well,
pretty
they
good.
worked in tandem together, and that's yeah. I mean, they justified. I wouldn't call Peach and Mary Sue. I think that's the name that fanboys give to female characters that don't earn it, so to speak. But yeah, I thought everything was well rounded. All the characters, the plot was well rounded, the dialogue, the jokes, everything. Man, it hit on all cylinders. And like I said, I'm stoked to see it again, and I'm also stoked to know that now Vince steals, because I won't leave money around him anymore.
That's really what this episode was about,
It
where
really is.
Vince
Vince
outed
steals.
himself.
I really outed myself and I didn't mean to, dude. I thought it was just gonna be passed up.
So when everybody else was listening to your dare officer at your school, Vince was in their Pokemon notebooks. Just
If you guys if
Just
you guys
sweating,
happen to
just going.
see,
wow.
if there's a different producer in the next episode, it's not because of this. It's a completely unrelated reason than we kicked Vince off the show.
Listen,
Yeah.
shut up and give me your Pokemon. You hear me, Dave?
I'm sorry, Devil.
Jeez, I'm
Don't tell
flashing
your
back,
parents.
dude.
You
Leave me
lost
alone,
this
Devil.
card. I stole your nephew's card.
Well, can you give it back? That I'm all right. Just give them back, and I'll be fine. So I also I saw another movie that's relevant, that's tearing up the box office right now. John Wick 4. I went on a John Wick binge in preparation. I like the John Wick movies, like the first one a lot. Second and third one I remember being very almost tedious. So I went back and rewatched them because I was looking forward to the fourth one, and man, it really rekindled my why I love those movies and the mythology of all of them and the story and everything. And I don't know if you guys have heard anything about John Wick Chapter 4, but dude,
If you love John Wick, if you're a John Wick fanboy, do they
Mhm.
call you John Wickens?
They do now. And in fact, I'm gonna make shirts, because I don't think anybody does call anybody that, but I think they need to. Can you, dude? Why aren't we doing this more? What? Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. I just get so excited about John Wick, and it makes me go crazy. Why aren't we selling bootleg shirts out in the parking lot of movie theaters on opening weekends of these movies? Can you imagine? I mean, sure, we get sued or whatever,
Sure,
but
they'd chase us off immediately, but it would be fun.
there'd be 3 solid hours between when we started from when they figured out what we were doing. We'd make a cool chunk of change. But anyway, yeah, John Wick, super exhausting movie. I really liked it. It's 3.5 hours. Didn't need to be 3.5 hours.
Dang.
There are fight sequences that are literally 20 to 25 minutes long that could have been 10 to 15, and it would have completely benefited the movie. It would have made everything uh better. But overall, man, it is one of the craziest movies I've ever seen. There's a fight sequence where it reminds me, the closest thing I can think of is that the hallway scene from the first season of Daredevil, where there's a camera overhead and it's on a set where you basically can see all of the different rooms in a grid, and you just see John Wick fighting throughout all of these rooms, getting thrown through walls. Ridiculous, right? Super ridiculous. But I had never seen anything like it. I saw there was a oneer, and if it wasn't a oneer, then it was a very cleverly designed, hidden, edited oneer, whatever you want to call it, because there's a sequence when he's driving and he's the Arc de Triomphe in France. I think that's how you pronounce it. But he's driving and he's doing all these crazy stunts, and you're sitting there the whole time and you're just like, that's really Keanu Reeves doing that. And it's one take. I mean, it's crazy. There's so many things in this movie that I like honestly hadn't seen before. There's humor in it that people are annoyed by that I thought was really funny. There's a sequence with a staircase that is one of the most egregious scenes I've ever seen in the best possible way. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen any of the first three John Wicks, I would really highly suggest that you do that. They're really fun movies. They're stupid and over the top, and you know, uh, they're basically superhero movies because the guy doesn't have a superpower, but he also doesn't die. So therefore, he crossed over into the realm of being a superhero, in my opinion. But they're just crazy fun movies, and yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of the other ones, but man,
I've only seen the first one, and I remember there being like a record-breaking amount of like headshots that are like on screen. It was like
yeah.
100 or something. I'm sure like the sequels are like just even way more.
Yeah, it definitely does not stop in those first three, and no spoilers here because I could spoil it, and I'm not going to because I think you guys need to see it. But they definitely up the ante with this one. Um, awesome Keanu moments. These movies, Keanu speaks less and does more, and I think that's the perfect kind of combination for an actor like Keanu Reeves. But yeah, check it out, man. I definitely, if you have an opportunity to go see John Wick Chapter 4 in the theater, highly recommend that you do it while it's still there. It's a good time.
You mentioned the Arc de Triomphe, and it reminds me of when
Was
I
that
was
how it's
in.
pronounced? I don't know. I said it
I
like
don't
an
know.
American.
I'm probably saying it wrong, but
Well, the Arc de Triomphe.
Arc de Triumph, triumphant.
What were you saying though?
I was in Paris one time, and like I were just driving around a rental car, and I got stuck during rush hour, like driving through the Arc de Triomphe, and it was like
Okay.
the craziest thing I've ever been a part of. It was like we didn't move for like it took like 45 minutes to get through, and it's just like it's not that big. It's like a little bit. It's like a little arc,
Yeah.
and then you just go around in a circle. But it took 45 minutes, dude. And it was like, it's the most insane. Like, I live in LA who have like crazy reckless drivers, right? But dude, it was nothing compared to this. Like,
But there's off ramps.
people were like cutting each other off within like less than an inch of space. Like, it was just like dog eat dog. And then like my dad was behind, like my dad had to stop and like let me drive because he was just freaked out. And like my dad's like he's not even like that typically.
Wow,
But he
Bill.
was just like he was like yelling out like, oh, like anytime a car would like try to pass us because it was like that crazy. And I was just there sweating, like, oh, and it was just like, and then in the midst of everything, I just remember like we're just stopped like halfway through. And then there's just like this they have like these double decker tour buses. And there's just this one tour bus that just like cuts us off. And it's just there's a full like rave party going on the top floor of like the tour van. It's just people going, whoo, yeah. And then just like it was quite the time.
Dude, we got Dark Slade up in the chat. What's up, Dark Slade? How you doing? I'm sorry that we're neglecting YouTube so much. But actually I see Vince isn't. Dark Slade up in the house. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. But yeah, no,
I
then
think
you're
he
gonna
left.
well, he'll see it on the
He
replay.
left.
Then.
He's
Well, we
gone.
don't appreciate you
He
then.
left.
Well, I
Hey,
take
we
it back,
still
Dark Slade.
We still appreciate you.
No, we love
He
you, Dark
left
Slade.
us.
You'll appreciate that scene even more, Dave, because there is some significant time spent. Like I said, they're ridiculous. They don't make sense in terms of biology or the real world, but they're a fun time. And man, it was really fun watching them in succession, quick together, and going to the theater and seeing it. Everybody in the audience was there for one reason, and there's always similar to kind of the Super Mario Brothers. When everybody's in the theater and everybody's on the same page and they're really looking and anticipating something, it's always a lot more fun. So I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I mean, we're heating up. We're almost to the summer movie schedule. So hopefully this is a good sign for what's gonna come out. Maybe, Guardians is kind of the next big thing. Can't wait to see that. But
Yeah, man, the Oscars had their fun, but now we're on to
yeah,
the real movies, which are the
yeah.
blockbuster popcorn
The
movies.
real movies that people want to spend money on.
Hey,
Sorry, everything, everywhere, all at once. Again, dude, they got
hey,
to do a sequel and name it that. Everywhere, all at once, all
Again.
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 Might as well, dude.
I have a question. We haven't
Sure.
really talked about it, I don't think. Are you guys going to go see the new Evil Dead?
Dude, I
No,
don't know, man.
no.
I
What?
I
Wow,
will
We
not be
have to
Eli's
do
seeing.
it.
I will not be
Eli's
seeing
really
that
tall
Evil Dead
today.
movie, dude,
Dude, why not?
because it's too much for me.
Dude, come
It's
on.
too much. It's too much, dude.
Come on.
I'm good, and I'm not gonna see the Pope's Exorcist in either because the Pope's
Is that a
Exorcist
thing?
is one of the most ridiculous trailers I've ever seen in my entire life, dude. The Pope's Exorcist is just trying to piss off the Catholics. That's the only purpose for it.
That's fine.
That's fine, but that's not
That's
a reason to go
fine.
see a movie.
So
It kind of is. I mean, if you
I
phrase
was
it like
kind of
that.
thrown off with it because I thought Barbarian was like one of the best movies of last year, and then I can't help but compare it to like the trailer of the Evil Dead movie where it's like, Eli, you've seen Barbarian, you might
Yeah.
know what I mean, where like a little bit of, like some of the themes are a little bit similar where I'm like, there's
Dude,
no
I'm
way it's
tired.
gonna be as good as Barbarian.
I'm tired of the possession movie trope. Like, let that
Yeah, but
genre
Evil
die, dude.
Dead,
Hold on. Every single
I'm
movie that
home.
comes out that's a horror is a freaking possession movie. I'm over it. I'm tired of it. We don't need any more possession movies. Barbarian is a whole other thing entirely. That's clever and it tells three different stories in a way that you'd never see coming. The Evil Dead just looks like more of the same. Continue, Vince. I'm sorry.
Dude,
So
Vince is gonna be so dude, that was
I'm
like
fucking heated.
what you just said was the equivalent of insulting Vince's family.
Well, he
You
needs to
just
branch out. He needs to branch out besides possession movies.
I'm staying out of this, dude. I
It's
don't want
enough.
Vince's wrath.
It's
Listen.
enough.
Listen. What you've said tonight has really pissed me off. Should I
I'm
just
sorry.
do the rest of this review in this voice?
I'm sorry, Devil. I
There's
know.
two things there's two things that Vince cares about more than life itself, and that's Diablo and Evil Dead.
3, Dave. That as well. Sorry, I just got
I'm
a new
I'm
message.
so
I don't
glad that
speak that.
I'm so glad that farts have made their way to the stream.
Oh yeah,
That
dude.
we've
Just
really
wait till I get a
classed it up.
stream deck and I can just like hotkey it in.
This is when you give Vince access to all the fart voice mods.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is, this is what you get.
I've
But
been here
that's
for
my
6
it's a tried
hours.
and true, dude. If you don't have anything funny to say, just go revert back to fart jokes.
Just
dude,
get a
and it'll
soundboard.
never.
It's not just the farts. It's also he's been watching Evil Dead too much and possession movies. This is
Okay,
what makes
so yeah,
a
let me get
fart-
back to this. So I'm completely with you when
Finally.
it comes to possession movies. But the Evil Dead, dude, they're the original, not really original, but one of the originals. I feel like it's an original story. I felt like the storyline that it's gone through with the first 3 movies were incredible because it was the first movie, which was pretty spooky, but like super cheap. The second one was the exact same movie, but they made it funny. I've never seen another movie make the same movie twice. And then the third movie was just absolutely wild. What
I
did you
agree
think
with
of
all
the
that.
It
what
was
did you think
wild,
of the most recent Evil Dead? Because that was fucking terrifying, dude. Is that why you don't want to see the new one?
I didn't see that one. No,
Really?
I love the original Evil Dead. I love number 2's weird, admittedly.
Oh, I
like
love number 2 so much.
it's good.
It's
It's
probably my
really
top.
good. It's really good, but I see to me those movies aren't just possession movies. They're the premise and the scenario and the plot are set up completely different. Not from the first 2 movies because you're right, they're the same. And then like Army of Darkness is
Oh, I love
its
it.
own thing entirely.
Army of
Like,
Darkness is wild, dude.
Army of Darkness is wild, but that's what I mean is like they don't follow. You can tell that they're not really Sam Raimi movies because they don't follow that
Well,
same.
first 2 were.
First 3 are,
First 3.
but I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
first 3.
But I'm saying the new reboots that they're doing, they just I don't know. They don't appeal to me the same way. To me,
But you haven't seen them.
what I just said is they don't appeal to me, which is the
Oh,
reason that
okay.
I haven't seen it. Like
Fair enough.
I don't. I just think that possession movies have become so tropey and over the top. Like that's why Barbarian was such a, a refreshing. You know, that's why I thought Scream 6 was refreshing. It's because they take something that they've done and turn it on their head. It could be good, and I hope you see it, and I hope you tell us that it's great, so that
Dude,
we're forced to see it.
Vince is holding in his rage right now, dude.
I shook things a little too much. I'm definitely going to go see it. I was hoping that we were going to see it as a group. Dave, are you going to see it, or is it going to be me reporting in?
Dude, if it means a lot to you, I'll go see it.
Dave, you should protect your soul.
I don't want to let you down, Vince.
Don't let a kid from
Dave,
Stanton steal your
Dave,
soul now, too.
Dave, it means the world to me.
Oh my God, there's a door cracked behind him. Hurry, get out.
It is
I'm stealing
true.
your soul through the door, Dave.
It is true that you're from Stanton, so it kind of equals out. I mean, I don't know.
I honestly feel like I was a little too honest here tonight.
Dude, I guarantee you're
not even being whiskey Vince right now.
I'm half drunk Vince, and I gave way too much out.
Sober Vince is way more damaging than whiskey Vince to himself.
Yeah. Whiskey Vince has class.
All right, with that, I think that's a great segue into. So I've asked Whiskey Vince. I've been trying to work on getting updated artwork from us, and we've been following this trend of AI artwork. Vince has been kind of masterful. Vince, you're gonna have to come back. I hope your camera's charged. Whiskey.
I was making some room.
Producer Vince has been making these AI artwork. Go back and look at our thumbnails from the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 shows, and they're awesome, right? So I text Vince. I was like, hey, can you just like put Dave and I's real photos into, what is it called? Mindhunter? What's the name of the program that I can never remember?
Not Mindhunter.
Midjourney. So Vince has been creating all this cool artwork for Midjourney. So I said, hey, can you just, can you prompt it with our pictures and try to come up with some new artwork? So I think Vince is going to, I asked him to kind of reveal it tonight and let us know kind of what Midjourney Mindhunter came back with. So I'm excited. Are we ready for that? Are you guys ready? Dave,
I'm excited to see this, dude.
We're ready to go. Let me make some room.
So I was thinking maybe we can, maybe show the pictures that I sent you, just so everybody can kind of.
If I'm not,
there I
is
am.
this? Oh, that's the picture we used.
Yeah,
to have AI base it on, right?
So I thought it would be good to have our pictures of what I sent him, so that we kind of have a compare and contrast with what AI. Everybody's AI, it's the future. It's going to get rid of employees, but as we see,
that's what I do. I just walk around going, AI.
I know. That's why you don't have any friends, dude.
It's worth, dude.
After you just told me that you went on a retreat with your friends, but they don't count, okay? They love you for who you are. I'm talking about other people.
I didn't have friends, okay? I just said that. It was just me sitting in a cabin playing D&D by myself. Okay?
Do you think there's a multiverse where doing that gets you crazy popularity? Like if you just were walking around, everybody's like, "Who's that guy?" Like it worked against every single thing that we know about our reality.
I kind of want to try that now and just see what happens.
Dude, I want to see a world of just like the most outlandish behavior gets you the most. I mean, I guess part of that we're kind of living in now, but yeah. All right, so on the screen
that's a solid picture of me. I just gotta say, I even got Pikachu in there.
Yeah, I've seen better, but
mine better look amazing. That's all I have to say.
Oh, there's mine. There's my go-to. That's
mine. Better be great.
That's my beard. That's the beard I like to wear when I need some change.
Your go-to goatee.
All right, here we go, boys.
Almost.
So it's going to be going back and forth between Eli and Dave, and then I think at the end there's 1 or 2 extra Eli pictures. Dave, no offense, yours was just so good I had to keep rerunning Eli's.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because for some reason he looked like in his picture like he talks like.
Well,
dude, you look like you.
That's all I got.
Let's see him.
All right, let's see what the first one's up. Okay, so that's what the AI thinks Dave looks like. That's insane.
That's you.
Wait, dude, that's
Eli.
That's me. That's not me, dude.
That's not me, dude. What part? What?
That's you if you're in Practical Jokers.
Why are you so frightened, dude?
Go back to my picture I sent you. Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
sure.
True. Yeah, I did take your expression.
Sure, I'm surprised. Sure. Okay. Now let's go back to the. That is like I just got caught doing something illegal that I don't want to make any.
You look like you're the protagonist of like the least popular Pixar short.
God, what?
The one that no one wants to rewatch.
Yeah, this is the short that was made by one of their interns that they sat down with and they were like, "We can't put this out. There's no way."
They're all sure if we need to meet a quota of shorts, I guess you can make that.
This
Like,
is
that's a
me
picture-
tomorrow morning when I realize I told everyone on the internet that I stole Pokemon cards.
It does look a little bit more Vince than it does Eli. That's for sure.
It kind of does, yeah. You got a lot of gray in that
Wait,
beard,
who's
too.
that? What is that?
That's obviously Dave.
Dude, yeah,
Dude,
that's like anime, dude. That's like
Okay.
anime Dave, dude. Look at that.
What's in the background? Why does he get some majestic beast?
So, if you notice, Dave cheated by submitting the photo with Pikachu in the background.
Okay.
Dave knows how to work the algorithm, dude.
Hey, it's not my fault if the AI has good taste.
So that's how inept the AI is. It gets distracted by a Pokemon in the background.
Well,
and
no,
then therefore
it's
promotes Dave to majestic.
no, it's based off prompts, and for Dave's I put anime, for yours I
Ew.
put sad.
Okay, well then it's right on.
Dude,
Then I
thanks
take back
for-
what I said.
Thanks for admitting that I look majestic. I've never gotten
What
that
is
compliment
that?
before, dude.
Okay,
Is that you?
Let's play
Is that
Dave or
me?
Eli.
that's Seth Rogen, dude. That's
Let's play
aged
Dave or
out.
Eli. I'm gonna say definitely Eli.
That's Seth Rogen who quit weed. That's what that is. That's
Welcome
not,
to Dave or Eli.
what?
To be fair, like
Ding,
Like,
ding,
I'm
ding,
not-
Eli.
It's not fair.
on the plus side, dude, your stash is pretty awesome in that picture. Like it's pretty like manicured, dude.
Okay, there's that,
It's
and then
not
on
like
the
beard oil on it.
and then on the exact same plane of existence, what's up with that headpiece I'm rocking? What is that? That's cultural appropriation, is what that is. It's-
What is it? Like a monk's like helm? Like what is that?
It looks like an Aztecian witch doctor's, like, before he goes into his ceremony, he wears that, I guess, and he looks like Seth
Yeah.
Rogen.
This is a universe if Eli was ever on Legend of the Hidden Temple and he won. And he spent the rest of his life just living in that.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen,
Seth Rogen appropriator.
Seth Rogen in Apocalypto 2.
Dude, look at that. So that's just another.
God.
That's like the other one. That's just another. It was like, no, I got it right the first time. So here it is again from a different vantage point.
For this one, my prompt was, "Isn't Dave cute?" Anime.
Dude, why does anime Dave get to look like Robert Pattinson in Twilight with Pokemon that are better than most of the late stage Pokemon created by Nintendo or the Pokemon company, whoever's in charge of that these days?
Dave looks like he has a goth girlfriend in this picture, is what I see.
I'll
Did
take
you-
that, dude.
Did you use a VPN
I
with a
did.
Stanton zip code for mine? Is that where?
It's all coming out of Stanton. I know what they're gonna like over there.
Absurd.
Dude, that Pikachu kind of looks like it's like another scared one. Dude, go back. Like the Pikachu looks like it's like I like crossbred it with like some kind of like monster.
Look how sad Eli is.
I don't know.
I'm literally getting his personality traits in each image.
Dude, AI hates you, dude.
Dude, AI just thinks why is everything surprised? Why is everything surprised? I'll look, if I'm just being objective here, based on the photo I gave it, that is not far off. But I also don't look like a Swedish dude, so I don't know where that's coming from. Also, like,
Hold on,
You
I'm
know,
going to go back to the base images.
You look pathetic,
Again,
dude.
Dave sent me an image with a Pikachu in the background. Yours you took at a public restroom, so maybe that was what the
no, I
AI
gave you a
said.
solid. I give you a solid background. Dave gave you a trade floor ceiling, and he gets majestic Pokemon master. I get Seth Rogen, or a guy who lives in his basement that's constantly arguing with his parents about rent. Like,
Maybe it geolocated you.
I don't stand for this. I just won't.
Oh, that's even better.
So what? Serbian? Now Dave gets to be a cool Serbian anime character training master.
I do look a little Serbian. That's kind of accurate.
You know,
My hair
I
looks
have to
sort of
commend I want to see the AI create new Pokemon instead of the people that are actually in charge of it. I think we'd get those are some awesome looking Pikachu variants
Dude,
there.
that's awesome. I have like an entire army of Pokemon behind me. It's kind of funny that we were
Okay.
talking about Pokemon earlier, and now is
All
that
right, you guys have a good night.
is that supposed to be you?
Round 2 of Dave or Eli. Ding, 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 ding.
Eli.
Eli.
Okay, that guy doesn't even have a beard. What is going on in the
Dude.
background? Is he like he works at Knott's Berry Farm? Like what? He's got a pin in his lapel pocket. Nothing about my picture said pin in a lapel
Dude,
pocket.
this guy is living the most like mediocre existence.
But look how happy he is compared to the other two.
He is happy. To be fair, he's really happy with the life he's created for himself.
He's like, I'm just working to get off and go to Chick-fil-A, go home and watch YouTube.
He's like, I don't ask for much in life, but
So it is a happier Eli?
He's all, look, 40-year-old virgins can also be happy, okay?
maybe, dude. Now that you said that, maybe this is a superior Eli. Like
I think
maybe
this
he's
is, dude.
living.
Dude, don't
maybe
say
he's
that.
living your better life.
Don't
dude.
say that.
This is the Eli that decided to base his life on him and him alone, dude. He's all, I work at California Adventure. I go to Chick-fil-A, and darn it, they're closed on Sundays, but that's okay.
He's like, you know what? I'm not going to button that top button because I like to live on the wild side, and it's a Friday.
Sure,
I
I have
hate
a
that so
sure
much.
I have a receding hairline, but
That looks like it.
got
Oh,
this
and what?
lapel.
Now Dave gets to be sexy Pikachu with a comb over, dude? This is ridiculous.
This
Whoa,
one's actually
sex-
just a picture of Dave.
wait, sexy Pikachu?
Yeah, look at that chest, dude. You're telling me he's not sexy? You're trying to tell me that Pikachu Dave in this photo doesn't understand that he is dreamy? Get out of here.
Dude.
Don't try to convince me of that.
Pikachu Dave is packing.
I'll
for
freaking
sure.
take it, dude. I'll take it. Packing Pikachu Dave. That's gonna be my new handle.
Oh,
Oh, that's just straight up from Up, dude.
so not only is this AI inept, it's just a thief. Well, that makes sense. It is on Vince's computer.
Why is it like? But why did it put that in the background?
Yeah, why did it, Vince?
like,
what
what if
prompt did you give?
So on the honest prompts that I did was sexy Dave for all of them. No, just kidding.
Oh,
it was just Dave, and I think I put in Pokemon, and it already had it going. For yours, Eli, I was trying to get a Pixar version of you with a Disneyland background, and it pumped out all of these, which kind of makes sense on this last one. But this one was like such a deviation from every other image I got.
Wait, go back one more time to that one. Look at the actual like.
Let me try to wait.
Never mind that it's like a weird furniture warehouse or something, but look how insanely creepy that thing is behind you.
He's all, this is my warehouse full of ventriloquist dummies.
It is, dude. It's like a ventriloquist dummy. Like why?
I'm also
Where do you
weirded out
work?
like how realistic this guy looks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It
dude.
looks like an image, dude.
Dude, this guy's a psychopath. I just realized
He's all-
that's actually psychopath, Eli.
He's all, this photo doesn't show the 6 bodies I have buried under my house.
He's all, don't look too closely.
He's all, sure, I don't have friends, but I do have bodies.
But I do have a nipple belt.
He's all, I'm friends with everybody.
Vince, I think I need to go back and try to. Oh God, that one just
This
one
one's
stopped.
my new
trying,
phone
dude.
wallpaper, dude.
Whoa. Is it like the Muppets? They
I-
kind of look Muppety. They kind of look
I don't
It
even
no,
know, man.
It just looks sad, dude.
No,
I-
this
Vince,
is a
I-
great one.
This looks like
one
the
is my
new
favorite.
This is like the new DreamWorks movie.
I think I need to go back and try to match the facial expressions.
This is a
of the
Pixar
AI.
movie where the guy has no real friends, but instead he makes up all of these friends.
It's called Imaginary.
He's oh, I got Popo. She's purple and orange.
Imaginary Gary. But they're all just creepy. Dude, it reminds me of
Finally got it.
the Meet the Feebles, dude. The best film of all time, Meet the Feebles.
Meet the Feebles, dude. Meet the Feebles was a journey. Is that all of them, Vince? Is your AI done slandering me now?
Those are all the images, dude. And I think Dave won. Dave
I
got
think we
5
could
stars.
finally put to rest who is more awesome.
Not only did Dave win, he now has his avatar photo for the next year and a half. So,
Oh yeah.
Dude.
dang, dude. Well, you're gonna have. I do kind of like the serial killer one, if I'm being honest. You know, I can probably get with that. So,
I'm gonna be sexy Pikachu lover LVR 420 from now on.
What we should have done is we should have made it so people could vote on whoever's was the worst, and then that person had to change all of their social media
Dude.
photos to that specific image for like a month and not say a word.
That's pretty good.
So Eli, I think you should have to do that for the you know like,
what? I'll wear it. But I'm gonna do the serial killer. I'm
you
doing
got to
that
do
one.
this one. Yeah,
That's
I expect to see it up right now.
That's
You're-
607, Eli. That's like in another world. He's just Blockbuster still exists.
You're gonna have that on your accounts, and then like your old high school, like people you knew from high school are gonna stumble upon and be like, "Ooh, did you see Eli lately?"
Oh my
he
God,
looks
does-
sad.
Does he
He's looking
still
rough.
work at Camp Snoopy? He just, I mean, he looks happy doing it, but I'm pretty sure there's bodies underneath.
He moved
the
up the
ground.
ranks quickly, at least.
Did you
I
see Poke
guess.
Dave? He showed a little bit of pectoral muscle. He's so dreamy, dude.
That is what they say.
And Dave,
dude.
I've noticed that you've already started using this one on your socials, which I agree
Dude,
with.
I'm down. He looks so chill at the same time. Yeah, that's the embodiment of. I think that's the best version of me right there. That I could
Dude,
ever
this
possibly
aggression
be.
won't stand, Vince.
Well, all right. I mean, is that where we're ending?
That's it. Like, we got to end on a high point. And for you, it's a high point because you get to look cool and like a Pokemon master. I'll end at a low point, but I have to wear it. I'm hoping that maybe on the next show the AI gets a little bit more sophisticated, or I find a better photo and get a couple better pictures out of the AI.
I was gonna share. I found one meme I was gonna share that is like comparing the two Mario movies, comparing the new Mario movie to the original one. What year was that? It's like was it
93, I think.
early 90s? Yeah. It's all the new one, a generic kids movie only held up by cameos and references. The old one, an avant-garde cyberpunk film about a dystopian capitalistic society hell-bent on genociding the inferior species that is brought down by two blue-collar men.
Also, that one has 4 out of 10 rating on IMDb, so that
Also, it might be the worst possible film ever created.
it really is.
It is wild, dude. I do appreciate a wild film.
And it is a cult, like, it's got a cult following now, which is, something cool about the 90s.
I think those dudes, those actors that were in it were like, I think I saw that they were like, they're just saying all kinds of things on social media about it. It's like maybe they were bitter that they didn't get like a cameo or something in like the new one.
Yeah, Leguizamo,
It's
who
like
played
no one's
Luigi,
gonna do. Oh, okay, yeah,
is the one that's kind of leading that charge. He's boycotted the movie, which it sucks for the movie. They really needed his money this weekend, but
They really needed his endorsement.
Well,
They
he's
didn't
pissed.
receive it.
He's pissed because they didn't hire real Italians to do the voices, but he himself is not Italian, and he played Luigi. So,
And he played
didn't
the
really hold
worst
up.
Luigi possibly ever. Which, again, I'm offended by you guys because I absolutely love the original movie. But
well, sure, everybody loves it, but it's
I
not
don't.
good.
Most people
But do
don't
you-
know about that movie. I just
Sure
put it
you
on the
love
other
it.
night. I love it, dude. That and
Sure,
Howard
you
the
love
Duck.
it, but did you like it?
Was it good?
Dude, so the sequel, they got to bring in Wario and Waluigi, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like we're
Oh,
on the
for
same
sure.
page.
Yeah.
Well, and Yoshi, but that might already.
And Yoshi.
They gave like a little wink to the Yoshi crew. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the after credits.
Oh, I didn't see the after credits, dude.
There's
left.
two. There's a mid credits and an after credits.
Oh, I didn't see anything. I walked straight out.
You missed it, dude. The mid credit is
Wow.
pretty hilarious.
Dang. So I would really like to see a haunted mansion Luigi. That's my vote, dude. I would
Me
love
too,
it.
dude. I'm with you on
I think
that.
it would be so good.
It's like they kind of gave it to us a little bit, but it was more kind of like Easter egg-ish.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
Yeah.
priming the pump.
Prime that Luigi pump.
Even for
That's what
like
I
a
say.
Mario Kart movie, I feel like
It's a
they
plumbing
primed-
reference.
Hey. Cleared the pipes.
Well, now I'm just plumb out of jokes.
All right, boys. This was fun. Thanks, Vince, and your
Hey.
AI for creating those terrible photos of me. Thanks for coming out and admitting all of your past discretions. That was something I didn't expect that we got.
Peachtree, no, there wasn't. You see the Yoshis. I guess Peachtree didn't see it.
no,
but there
She
were-
went with Vince.
It's sort of like there were, you saw it. Some of the Yoshis kind of in the background at one point, but then yeah, there's a Yoshi related thing in the after credits.
All right, Dave.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go back to my 7 bodies and cuddle with them tonight. And Dave,
Dude,
thanks
I'm
for,
gonna see this. I'm gonna see this in my dreams, dude.
Vince, send me the picture. I'm gonna put it on my my Instagram for sure.
All right, for sure.
All right, thanks, guys. Dave, thanks. We'll
Thanks,
be
guys.
back here next week.
Like and subscribe, guys. If you enjoyed I don't know how to even rate this show. It was a little all over the place, but like him, subscribe, or Vince is gonna feel bad about himself.
More than normal.
How
I
about this?
definitely will.
How about this? If you didn't like the fact that Vince ripped off so many kids Pokemon cards throughout his life, like and subscribe to show Vince.
Yeah, just really write a hateful comment towards Vince. We'll make sure that he sees it.
Or send it directly to his PO box.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy that more than any
If
subscription.
if you see him in the streets, make sure if you're driving by and you see Vince
Punk him.
limping down the street, just call him out. Just tell him that he's a bag of shit.
Specifically, that would hurt him more than anything else could. All right, guys.
All right,
That's
guys.
great. Let's end there.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
He's a bag of shit.
Skipping through the end time.